Hi everybody, welcome to this weekend round guide video for the All-Star Tournament. We're playing Expert Division, all 18 holes in one video here for your convenience. Please hit the thumbs up button, it does help me out, and make sure you are a subscriber of the channel as well, totally free to do so. Timestamps for the individual holes are in the video description down below, so if you want to skip backwards and forwards to a particular hole, you can do so with ease. Plenty of drops here, take a token or two. I've given you some tweaks for anything I didn't quite drop here in the video, so build on that, use them as references, and hopefully you'll get a nice score in the weekend round. Good luck everybody, here we go. No chance of sending it in this wind direction, we're going to have to lay up on the right. Blue ring touching the rough on the left with the quarterback 9 and 10 at the top of plus 10 yards. Then we're going to make a club switch to our APOC and Grizzly bag. Adding spin will be the next step, and we're going with 5.8 top spin and 1 bar of side spin to the left. Adjustment max plus 10, power 3. Max plus 10, power 3 settings, and the purpose of this drive is just to get safely down the fairway, setting up a rough bump with the Grizzly. So even though we've got a headwind angle here, okay, of course the send it option is going to be off the cards, however, still a very good chance to start your round here with an eagle. Perfect ball away, no overpower, no underpower, just a nicely centered ball in the adjustment ring there, and this is going to bounce very nicely down the fairway, and we're going to get a drive distance here for reference. It's going to be in the region of 330 yards. Second shot, move the bullseye over the rough line there, and we've got +1 with the Grizzly 9. That will be +4 with the Grizzly level 7 and 8. We find our position with the top of the yellow ring touching the rough line. Then we're going to add our spin. It's going to be about 2.2 backspin. Might vary depending on your drive, especially if you've hit a great ball. But here is a reference for it anyway, and you can see the tip of the ball guide going about 1 cup through the hole. A rough check of +1 with the Grizzly 9 is going to be 53% slide at 10% elevation. I have tweaked that slightly from what I played in the video, because I just dropped this left side and kind of caught the rough maybe a couple of clicks too low. But take a token or two. If you have more headwind angle, you might want to go with a click or two of overpower just to counteract that. But 53% slider, 10 elevation for +1 with Grizzly 9 is dropping very nicely for the eagle. Going to recommend the Goliath here. Not often we do that, but this is a nasty hole and a nasty wind angle. We're going with a weird combination of spins, unfortunately, and I take a bit of time to get this right. But it's going to be about 1.7 backspin and 0.7 bars side spin to the right. So it is a bit tricky. Yellow ring touching the rough at the top of +8, and the ball guide, you won't get a complete ball guide. But it is kind of pointing just past the left edge of the cup. Try and replicate this as best you can. Very tricky though, so just take note of the details, try and get the spins right. Adjustment max +35, power 3 settings, and pull this one over the bullseye. Max +35, power 3, pulling it over the bullseye here. Very tough hole, might need considerable tweaking, but should be close if not in. Bouncing up very nicely, and we're dropping that one for the hole in 1. Very tough hole. On this par 5, set up with the quarterback first, red ring touching the rough at the top of +6. Then we're going to switch to our APOC bag. I'm going to talk about ball choice in a moment, but for now we're adding spin, and it's going to be 5.8 bars of top spin only. Then we adjust max +0, power 3 regardless of what ball you use, and then of course just hit perfect. Now regarding the ball choice here, the best look at the Albatross is going to be with a side spin 4 ball. So if you've got a Kingslayer, then I really would have a go with that. You can play the hole with a Kingmaker, but you would have to tweak the second shot and use left curl, and your Albatross chances are going to diminish considerably. So just bear that in mind when you're making your ball selection here. It's not essential, but it will help have a good look at the Albatross. Drive distance here going to be around 335. Now the second shot here, we're going to go with 5 backspin and 4 left spin. Add your spin first, and then you want the ball guide going just to the back of the cup. And you see we're setting up nicely away from the tree. That's why the left spin is good here, because if you try this shot with a kingmaker and aim at the pin, you are going to clip the tree. You need curl. And the reason I'm recommending the Kingslayer is that wind 4 helps, because then you're not going to be pulling dangerously close to the tree. As you can see, we are getting some collision with the bull guide, but it's going to be okay in this wind strength. Anything higher than that, I'm not sure. I would rather go with less wind, really. For a 335-yard drive, you're going to go 41% slider, 0 elevation. That is a tweak, but we're very, very close in this example for an albatross. Very tough wind on this par 5. Tough wind angle once again here on this par 4. We're going to set up with the quarterback now. We're going at the top of +6 yards. Actually going with half of the blue ring inside the rough on the left. I do move my position over in a moment. There you go. So half of the blue ring inside the rough on the left at the top of +6 with quarterback 9 and 10. Then we make our club switch to our APOC bag. I'm going to add spin though first. 2 top spin, 3 left spin. Doing that before switching clubs just for the ball guide reference, but the rings are enough really. Switch to your APOC bag and adjust max +10. Power 3. You'll see even with this fairly high wind strength with a kingmaker, with an APOC 4 I wouldn't be anywhere near overpower, so this is going to be an APOC 4 safe shot in terms of overpower, pulling only to +4 yards with APOC 5 and above. Max +10, perfect ball away, and we're going to get just nicely down the fairway, bouncing in the middle of the fairway between the rough and the sand, and rolling towards the rough. Not going to risk it though, and we've got a drive distance here of 304 yards. Second shot does need a tweak, but with the spin I'm aiming for about 3.5 to 3.8 backspin and around half a bar of right spin. It may vary depending on your drive, but set up at the minimum distance line and have the ball guide going through the hole by 1 green square. Now this will need a tweak. I haven't dropped this one this morning, so just take a tweak here. I missed to one side. You could even vary the side spin to have the ball guide offset by the amount that I miss, or you could try a little bit more adjustment. There's 2 options there, but in the video I'm giving you the adjustment here, and it's on the notepad of what I did, and that is minimum distance 20% elevation. So it's up to you whether you either tweak the spins or the placement, or you tweak the adjustment. Still a decent chance, I think, with a token or 2 here, playing from the minimum distance line with our grizzly at all times. No move target with the quarterback and a kingmaker here. Then we add spin. 5 top spin, 3 bars side spin to the left. Very simple setup on this drive. Just need to adjust maximum distance, 10% elevation. The palm tree there might be in the way if you're unlucky with your wind angle, so you might need to do some ducking and diving with your camera view to get a nice view of the rings. But for me, I'm adjusting 9 rings in this wind strength, 8.4 with the QB, and then we're just going to take our shot. No overpower, just a plain ball shot, and we're going to catch a nice roll on the fairway. Should take us to around 315 yards every single time. Just missed this one to the left both times this morning, making a fringe check, +9 with the top of the white ring touching the fringe. And for that I'm playing 80% slider, 10% elevation. So that will be +11 with sniper 9. 4.5 backspin, half a bar of side spin to the left. I'm finding the funnel here, trying to find the middle of it with the ball guide pointing at the pin, stopping a couple of green squares short. This does need a tweak though. I tried to tweak this with a little bit of right curl. You could try more adjustment here based on what I've done in the video, which is on the notepad, or you could increase the right curl, but it's something to work from here. You can get started, take a token or 2 if you like, to try and dial this one in. Like I said, the wind is just pushing me a little bit too far to the left in this example, but a couple of suggestions there how you may want to tweak it. I went within a wall right curl here, just missing about a ball off to the left hand side. Going to have to use the Guardian with this tailwind angle, and we're going with 2 right spin and then as much backspin as you can get with the 2 right spin. It's going to be about 8.2. So the max backspin possible with your 2 right spin added. Add your spin, second bounce on the edge of that dark green square column just above the pin as shown. Pause the video, take a screenshot so you get a good reference. Count some green squares, of course, if you need to as well. And you want to set up with the first bounce in the middle of the fringe. Max plus 20, power 3 settings here. Max plus 20, power 3. If you've got Guardian level 7, then you will need to use Guardian level 8 numbers. Otherwise your max value will be different, and we are not at max distance of our club. So just bear that in mind if you're using a Guardian level 7. Perfect ball away though, and this one is going to bounce very nicely. The spin is going to grab, and we're going to find this really generous funnel, and it's going to trickle back down into the hole nicely for a hole in one. If you're enjoying the free content here and want to help support the channel, then you can do so in one of 3 ways. You can click the thanks button directly underneath the video, you can use the PayPal link in the description down below, or you can become a channel member as well. All support of the channel is greatly appreciated. Now I'm going to show you another layup on the right hand side here. Quarterback, white ring touching rough on the right at the top of plus 10, switch to APOC and thorn bag after that. 5.8 top spin and 2 bars side spin to the right. Now some people like to deliberately go for the green here and know it's going to land in the bunker. You can still do that. You can deliberately drive into the bunker and play with a brilliant funnel on the green. It's all up to you, but sometimes it's quite nice just to play the hole a different way and do some rings from min. So that's the method I've decided to show you today. Max plus 10, power 3, circle drop over power, so not when it breaks but just when it drops. Hit perfect, and we're going to get some nice extra distance on this one, driving towards the top right corner of the fairway. And we're going to have a nice clear view to the pin from here to play rings from min with our thorn. 348 yards. So we are going to add spin first. I would suggest trying 1 back spin and 2 left spin to begin with. Then we're going to find the min line and push up, counting rings from min until you have the ball guide going into the hole. There's 5, there's 6, 7 and 8, and then you can see the ball guide going to the pin, maybe just a smidgen through the pin itself, but not by much because there's not really much headwind here. We're playing rings from min, 5% elevation, power 2 settings. Very easy, 1% slider for every ring from min. So I pushed up 8 rings. I'm going to play this one 8 rings from min, so that's 8% slider, pulling over the bullseye. Like I said, if you want to drive on the left-hand side, deliberately play to the bunker, you can have a go and find the funnel there. It's fairly wide, great balls will drop. But if you want to play a different route, then this is a very nice approach for the eagle. Very close on this tough par 3, just need to tweak the amount of right spin. In the video here I go with 0.9 and we're going with a 3.7-ish backspin. It's one of those tricky spins to find, I'm afraid. It's kind of 3.6, 3.7. In the video here, like I said, go with 0.9 right spin, but this needs a tweak. But we're setting up with the blue ring touching a rough there on the left and the right, and the top gap between the rough on the right and the blue ring. Ball guide as shown once you've added your spin, but bear in mind, like I said, you might need to tweak it a little bit here. Mid plus 15, power 3 settings. Try and keep the wind below 8 miles per hour, because higher winds are going to take you much more down the slope, and it may cause you to lose distance on your shot. Like I said, I was really close here, just a click or 2 variance needed in the right spin. Perfect ball is going to bounce exactly where we're aiming though, but just here we needed to go with maybe 1 click less on the right spin to get that one to drop in this wind angle. Safe eagle here with the quarterback and Cataclysm or a Guardian level 9 or Big Dog. White ring touching a rough there at P3 max. Then we're adding spin, 2.5 top spin and 2 left spin. We're going to play this the same as we have done in other wind angles on this hole. Going to push out rings to adjust, otherwise the trees are totally in the way. 9 rings for me with 8.4 in wind. I'm pushing 4.5 at a time. Try and push up accurately in a straight line, of course, and doing 2 pushes here. So 4.5 and 4.5 going to make my 9 rings. Don't worry about the ball guide going red, because we're going to play with max left curl to circumvent the trees. Making our adjustment, like I said, max left curl, and just before the circle drops as our overpower reference, and this is going to be a really consistent drive, taking the nice line around the trees along the fairway, bouncing nicely in the middle of that section, and we're not risking the rough at all here. Drive distance is going to be in the region of 322 yards. Second shot, 5 backspin, 3 left spin. It's going to look weird, but it's going to be okay. At max distance, you can use the ring reference if you've got similar accuracy club. Red ring touching the rough. Ball guide is just before the start of the fringe. It shows it just as if it's going to kick off to the left, but you're going to be okay because the wind push is going to do the rest. Max minus 15, so negative elevation here because we play this one considerably uphill. Max minus 15, hit perfect here, and then actually with a tweak or two, or if you're lucky, you've got a chance at the albatross from distance here. You can look, this comes in really nicely. It's not a bad effort here, and just missing on the left hand side, but we've definitely secured the eagle. 2 options here on hole 10. If you've got the blitz ball or the precision luminary, this is worth a go in my opinion, but you will need apox 6 and above. You can see it's a max top spin with apox 6, so 6.9 bars, and we're setting up at plus 18 yards there with the bullseye just past the rough line. Second bounce in the middle of the next fairway as shown. We are going to go max plus 10 here. Max plus 10, power 5 settings. Like I said, this is aggressive. If this is not for you, we have a safe option coming up. But even with this shot, I would recommend you take a couple of tokens and just dial in some wind angle tweaks as well. Like I said, it's not without risk. Max plus 10, P5. Max overpower, the precision is helpful here because we want to hit perfect, which we do in this occasion. No curl and no side spin, just the top spin, but there's the first bounce. There's the second bounce, and we're rolling out nicely from the rough if you've got one of those balls or a New Year ball that you want to spend. If you don't want to do that though, here is the safe route. Quarterback level 9 and 10, white ring touching the rough on the left at P3 max. Then we're going to switch to our APOC and Grizzly bag and add our spin. 5.8 top spin is what I'm going with here, and 2 bars side spin to the left. Adjustment is going to be max plus 0, max plus 0, power 3 settings because we're using a Kingmaker. And the idea here is just to lay up down the fairway, and it's going to set up a rings from min approach with our Grizzly. So max plus 0, power 3, no overpower and no curl, just concentrate on hitting perfect. Second shot, we're going to count up rings from min. So find the min line, and we count up rings from min to have the position that I'm going to show you here in the video. We're going to go with some backspin here. It's about 1.3 bars of backspin. And then I'm setting up with the bullseye over the last part of the rough, so just before you get that big bounce. And then we're offsetting here to have the ball guide over the left edge of the cup. In the video here I pushed up 10 rings, so that is going to be 13% slider, and we're playing 15% elevation here. Like I said, take a token or two on this one as well just to dial it in. Great left, great right is still going to be fine, but obviously you've got to measure your rings accurately and make sure you don't go with any accidental underpower or overpower when you're playing this rough bump. But it is a good chance here for the eagle. Looks like a nasty wind angle, but it's actually not too bad at all. We're going to play with our sniper from the min line, and we're going to go with 2.2 backspin and 1 right spin, and finding the position on the P3 min line. And you'll see the ball guide does move around a little bit, but you'll find here a little area where it doesn't glitch. And that's where we want to be. The third bounce will be just around the cup itself. So make sure you find the correct position with your spin added. We've got to push rings to adjust here, otherwise you won't see what you're adjusting with the bunker being where it is. The adjustment is minimum distance, 5% elevation, and we're playing with power 3 numbers. Taking care, of course, to push up in a straight line, and then we're going to take our shot. Now, with this wind angle, I found that 2 clicks of left curl was bringing me nicely into the hole, but of course you will need to tweak yourself depending what wind angle variant you get. So this one was played with 2 clicks of left curl as a reference. Bounces very, very nicely there, and we're dropping it right at the pin for a hole in one. Now, on this par 5, I'm playing with a Kingslayer. You can play it with a Kingmaker, but you would need to add curl on the second shot. Red ring touching the rough with the quarterback at the top of +6. Then we switch to our APOC sniper bag. Like I said, a Kingslayer or power 3 ball, wind 3 with side spin 4 or 5 is really preferable for the best look at the albatross. Max +0, power 3, and then we're going to take our shot with half wall curl to the right, and just before the circle drops as our overpower reference. Great right may not be safe here, so be advised of that one. I have clipped the rough and rolled out, but heavy great rights may not be that lucky, so just be warned on that one. Drive distance needed here, 330 yards. Second shot, you're going to want to play with approximately 4 topspin and 4 bars side spin to the left. If you're playing with a Kingmaker, obviously you've only got 3 left spin. You're going to have to set up with the ball guide missing the pin to the right, otherwise you will clip the tree. And then you would have to play with outer wall left curl, anywhere from that to half a ball left curl. Or you can just play containing shot. But I'm setting up with the ball guide through the hole. In the video I've done a different adjustment, but the one I'm giving you in the commentary and on the notepad is a tweak. And I would like you to play mid-distance -15 elevation for a drive of 330 yards. This one is over-adjusted just a little bit, but the tweak here should get you pretty much in, I would think, pending any tweaks, for a nice albatross if you've got a side spin 4 or greater ball. Slightly unpleasant angle here. We're going to go with a berserker and try and get it over there. It's been working okay for me, but like I said, always take a token or two, get a feel for different wind strengths and wind angles. 5.8 topspin, 2 left spin, bullseye in the middle of the rough and the sand, at top of +6 with APOC 5 and above. APOC 4 may struggle here. If you are using APOC 4, I would advise you to test this with a token or use a power 5 ball with more wind resistance if you have one. Max +0, power 3. I'm pushing up then to to max +31, which is why I think it may be dodgy with an APOC 4, because we are going at max with APOC 5+. And you can see about 2 ball curl to the left. It's going to be a full shaky needle, so do your best to hit perfect. If this one isn't for you, then find an alternative method. More top spin, of course, the better, but if not, you've got your wedge for the eagle. Before we carry on, a quick reminder to please become a subscriber of the channel here. It is totally free, and I'm on the road to 20,000 subscribers. With your help, I can get there fairly soon, I hope. So please click that subscribe button right now. I'm going to play a quarterback, no moving target drive here. So load the hole with a quarterback and a Kingmaker. Then we're just going to add 5 top spin and 3 left spin. And then make our adjustment. Max +10. No need to move the target until you come to adjust your rings. So maximum distance, 10% elevation on this drive. We're going to drive ourselves nicely down the fairway. And we're looking for a drive distance of around 310 to 315 yards. But a very simple setup, going to leave us a sniper for the Albatross. So we've adjusted there, max plus 10 P3, no curl, no overpower, just centre the ball and hit perfect. I'm giving you a top white fringe check reference here, plus 11. However, sometimes you're not going to have that, especially if you're using Sniper 9. So in the end, I'm giving you drive distance as well. 311 is going to be 70% slider, 15 elevation. And you'll need between 4 and 5 backspin and 1 left spin. It might vary depending on your drive, but add the spin and find the funnel here. The issue I have with this shot is, frustratingly, I come in short in line, so just look back on the video replay here, and I would reduce the backspin by a couple of clicks because you don't want to be coming in short. However, the adjustment and the line was absolutely perfect. So a small tweak to the backspin here, and you're going to have a very good chance for the Albatross. So 15% elevation on this par 5. On this par 3, you don't have to use the Royal Ball, but it helped me get the right side spin. You could also set spin with a Titan and then switch. Max backspin, 2 right spin. Bottom of the yellow ring touching the fringe where it meets the green, and the ball guide as shown. So pause the video, look at where the second bounce and the tip of the ball guide are in relation to the green square columns on the green for your references. Good chance for a hole-in-one here. Might need a wind angle tweak or two though. And as there is a fairly nasty kind of headwind element to this one, it's always good to keep the wind below 8 miles per hour if you can, untested in higher winds. Max plus 20, P3 here, perfect ball, bouncing very nicely towards the start of the green, and then it's just going to take the slope here and then trickle back down for a hole-in-one. Now with this wind angle, slight update to this one, I'm playing here with 4 backspin and 1 right spin. APOC 4 is not going to have the backspin, apologies about that. If you've got APOC 4, I would recommend you actually have a go with this shot with an extra mile 7 plus. Just work out your start points and your ring references, download Rings Bible, look at the tutorial here. But APOC 5, you should be okay with the backspin you have, definitely going to be fine with 6 and above. Yellow ring touching rough there with the plus yard references shown with APOC 5 and 6. Max plus 0, max overpower and half a ball curl to the right. If you do end up short in the sand, it's a very easy save. There's a huge funnel you can play into there, so it doesn't matter if you do end up in the bunker before the green, but all being well, you're going to have a nice putt for the eagle on this par 4. Onto this par 3, we can bounce over on the pad in this wind angle, and we're going to go with spin as shown here. So it's about 5 backspin and 1.8 left spin. Then we're looking at the blue ring, having it touching pretty much the majority of the rough line on the top and the left-hand side. Just a small gap there on the top left corner, but that's the setup we want. Try and keep the wind below 8 miles per hour. That's why I'm using a Kingslayer. I didn't want 9.1 wind on this one. Mid plus 5, power 3. Take care when adjusting down into the bunker. This one will need some tweaks according to your wind strength and wind angle, but it's a good starting point. Perfect ball away is going to bounce very nicely on the pad, and the spin will do the rest of the work for us. Onto the green and falling right at the pin. Safe eagle here. There is, of course, aggressive options if you want to pursue them, though. It's up to you on that one. White ring touching the rough there on top at P3 max with quarterback 9 and 10. Then we're going to add our spin, and it's going to be a weird amount of spin here, but it's 2.5 top spin, 1.5 left spin. Ball guide will be pointing into the bunker once you've added your spin. Then you're going to just max plus 10 P3, max plus 10. Getting a nice pull angle centered there. There we go. About 9 rings for me with this wind strength. Then we're going to go with left curl. Max left curl just before the circle drops as our overpower reference. Like I said, second shot is all about just getting it to green safely here for this safe eagle play. Full backspin, one left spin in the end. I go with a bit more than that, though I end up going with 1.5 left spin and actually tweaking the backspin up to about 4.2. It may vary depending on your drive, but just make sure that second bounce is comfortably on the green and you're not setting up too close to the rough or too close to the tree. This is all, like I said, about getting yourself safely to green. Max minus 15 is the adjustment here. You see the ball guide will get clipped away, which means we're going to have to use some right curl. I would rather use more than less. In the video, I go with half a ball, but if you think you're going to hit a great right, then just play yourself even safer and go with 3/4 ball curl. You do not want to be clipping the tree on hole 18, but we're getting the green there safely for our eagle putt. Thank you for watching this video on the All-Star Tournament here on the channel. Don't forget to join us over on Facebook as well. Over 12,000 members, loads of discussion points, free guides and shot sharing over there. Loads of people that can help you out, answer questions about the game as well. So I look forward to seeing you all there. In the meantime, good luck for the tournament. See you soon. Bye for now.